A series of militant attacks have hit the holy city of Samarra in Iraq, leaving casualties. 4 people as a result were killed, 18 more wounded, when 2 bomb blasts and several mortar rounds rocked the city in Salahuddin province. The attacks also targeted volunteer fighters in Bu Nisan area. Third bomber was killed before he could blow up his explosives. The Iraqi army, backed by Kurdish Peshmerga and volunteer forces, have been engaged in a fierce battle against the ISIL for about 6 months now. Zaid Al-Issa is an Iraq affairs expert joining us from London to tell us about these attacks and more. Well, we're not going to talk about the attacks. I'd like to get your analytical point of view regarding what is going on in Iraq, what is going on with the Daesh terrorists, and of course the setbacks that they have had, but yet they still are making some advances.
Well, I mean, if you look at the overall picture, we've seen that the lightning advance made by ISIS during the summer has definitely been held back. It has been halted, and we've seen the Iraqi security forces, which are heavily backed up by the volunteers who are actually forming the backbone of these forces, have taken the fight to ISIL. They are taking on ISIL, and they have not only stemmed their tide but turned the tide against them, particularly in the area of Diyala, in the area of Salahuddin. ISIS has been on the back foot, and also in Kurdistan. Now, we have seen also that the Americans have been less than enthusiastic, less than half-hearted attempts, and their airstrikes have been few and far between. They are dragging their feet about them. They've been mostly cosmetic. There is no interest in actually ratcheting them up, because what they intend to do is they want to actually contain rather than degrade, as they claim, or destroy ISIS. They want to maintain it as a potent, credible threat in order to put the Iraqi government on the back foot, and also to ensure that they can entrench their presence in order to maintain and ramp up their influence in Iraq, which they lost heavily after withdrawing from Iraq. They also do not like the makeup of the new Iraqi army, particularly the presence of the volunteers who form the backbone of that army. They want to not merely change the composition, but the Saudis who participated in this so-called alliance, although they have played the major, most pivotal role in actually reviving and reinvigorating ISIS with the torrent of funding, arming, logistical support, and paying salaries to mercenaries, Wahhabi Salafi mercenaries converging on both Syria and Iraq, and widening the strategy after spectacularly failing to topple the Syrian regime in order to severely undermine and destabilize Iraq itself, and to take the fight to the Iranian border. We have seen that Iran, on its part, have played a major pivotal role in actually supporting and putting its money where its mouth is in terms of backing up Iraq, the Iraqi forces, and helping them out in major triumphs against ISIS. We've seen the Iraqi security forces being able to push back single-handedly in Jaffa al-Sakhar, in Amali, the ISIS fighters. But now the intensification of ISIS attacks against particularly Samarra, it is principally designed by ISIS and actually being encouraged heavily by the Saudis, who desperately need to see a sectarian war ignited in Iraq and also in Syria and in Lebanon, in order to actually convince their people that they are engaged in existential fight, in actually trying to roll out to confront an existential threat coming from the Shia, after its patently deceitful myth that it is the guardian and defender of Sunni Islam has fallen apart because of its major role in actually defeating or spearheading the counter-revolutions in the Arab world, which were specifically against the Sunni people. So now they are under pressure, and they want to actually prove beyond a shadow of doubt that they are the guardian of Sunni Islam after that has fallen apart.
Thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. Zaid Al-Issa there, Iraq affairs expert from London.